Okay, today we're going over day one of lead generation and growth. So, the theme for this sequence of workshops is to actually help you with increasing your email list and growing your email list, because what you don't want happening is going and doing all of this work for email marketing and marketing in general and not actually growing your list and keeping those leads coming in. So today's workshop is more educational. This is the first one, and it is going to be a lot of me talking about what to understand around this idea about lead generation. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically define what a lead is. But before I do that, and what a lead magnet is, before I do that, let's talk about our mindset. So growing your list is not about chasing numbers. You can purchase a list, you can spend money and get 10,000 people on an email list and say, oh, yep, I've got a list of 10,000 people. Or maybe you do have a list of 10,000 people. It's not about the numbers. It is about the right kinds of people on your list. Because I guarantee that if you go and purchase 5,000 people today and you go to email them and your open rate is 2%, you're going to be damaging your reputation for those email service providers. And we do not want that. So it is quality over quantity when it comes to the health of your email, which is your reputation. And your reputation needs to be your top priority, because once you damage that, you damage the opportunity to basically nurture and build that relationship with any future prospects. So it's really important that when you're thinking about growing your email list, that you're thinking about attracting the right kinds of people who are ready to engage, to buy, and to stay. These are your people that are going to become super fans for you and your brand. So now that we have the right mindset, let's talk about leads and lead magnets. So a lead is somebody who is interested in what you have to offer. You are solving a problem for them. When you started your business, you went into this to solve a problem for somebody, and it is a problem that somebody was willing to pay for. If you went in to do something where you weren't getting paid, you're probably starting a hobby. But since you started something that you were trying to get some money in exchange for your products, your services, whatever you're doing, your coaching, you are trying to solve a problem people are willing to pay for. You're solving a pain point in some way, shape, or form. And you need to take a step back and think about serving. You are actually servicing and serving the people that come to you for that need. And problems and pain points can be a variety of different things. They can be pleasurable, they can be fun. There are many different angles in which you can think about how you make somebody's life better. And whoever comes to you for whatever you end up doing, whatever you are doing, sorry, those are leads. What a lead magnet is a way to attract those leads, which is why it's called a magnet. Magnets attract. So a lead magnet is a free, valuable resource, like a checklist, a guide, a mini course, template of some sort. In my world, it is a digital resource, because in my world, I am about digital marketing, email list growth, email list building. So lead magnets, it could be a lot of different things. If you're a brick and mortar store, a lead magnet could be a promotional thing that you have inside your store. It can be a sign outside of your door that says, come inside for a free drink while you shop around. That is a lead magnet. Technically, you're bringing your leads in, you're attracting them into your store. A lead magnet for this conversation specifically I am talking about a digital resource that you put on your website or that you can have attached to a QR code that is scannable and is a digital file of some sort. That is my definition today as a lead magnet. A lead magnet can be a variety of different things, but for the purpose of today's conversation, that is what I am talking about. Okay. Now, this lead magnet solves a very specific problem for your ideal customer in exchange for their email address. Now, every single established business, and I challenge you, this is a challenge to you. Try and find a business that's established that isn't trying to collect an email address. Okay. You will find that every established business is trying to grow their email list, which is why I am so adamant about teaching you everything that you're learning inside the academy and everything that my business represents, because email lists matter. Collecting emails matter. It is a known strategy. It is a strategy that has been proven to work and continues to be proven to work. So everybody and their mother is creating an email list. It's time you do as well. And I am going to show you a couple examples of, let's see here, some businesses and some examples. This is a company, ear piercing company, Rowan. They have nurses that pierce their ears. I actually got my ears pierced here last year by them. And as soon as I land on their website, I did heyrowan.com. As soon as I landed on their page, this pops up. Now, pop-ups are something that you should have on your website. They work. Statistically, they work. Yes, they may be annoying. Yes, they involve clicking around, but you will find that Rowan has pop-ups. I went to Gooder, which is another brand that I like for sunglasses. They have a pop-up. There are very easy ways to set up pop-ups. I used to have a pop-up on mine. When I have events that go on, I will trigger a pop-up, but for now, I don't have that triggered at the moment, but they work. They do work. I used to have one for my newsletter and that was working, converting well. But pop-ups are something that you can set up on your website. And when we get to the technical aspect of this month's workshops, I can show you how to do a pop-up if you're using Wix. Okay, so for this one, the lead magnet is a 10% off coupon. Save on your first online purchase and get an email only offer when you sign up. So that is their lead magnet. It's a coupon. Same thing with Gooder. It's a financial incentive to get $10 off. In exchange for your email address, you're getting a coupon. I did this one for one of our members, this landing page here, and you get 10% off your purchase when you sign up for the newsletter. And that's the landing page for her. Now, for me, I do not have a financial incentive. I have a couple of different lead magnets here. I have a quiz where at the end of the quiz, they find out where their biggest leak is for the business. It takes 2 minutes and they get a free resource to help them fix it. That's one of my lead magnets. I also have another lead magnet here, which is a regulars on repeat, a free guide. So I have a pop-up that happens after they click get the guide and they put their name and email address and they get this free guide sent to their inbox. So those are my 2 lead magnets there. So a couple different businesses, and you see some examples of lead magnets. All right, now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what goes into a good lead magnet. Because you don't want, lead magnets can be time consuming. Your job from this week to the next week is to create a lead magnet, all right? You want to have it done by the next workshop, because the next workshop you're going to be, what are you doing in the next workshop? Let me make sure is implementing. You're going to create your lead magnet landing page. So Eleanor's page that I just showed you, where it was really beautiful and it had the sign up page, it had the picture, had a picture of her, and it had like all the details of what you get if you sign up for the newsletter. That's what we're going to create for you next time. So you need to have your lead magnet created by the time you do that next workshop. Every business has an email list that they're trying to grow. you want to be able to keep growing that email list because you don't want to have, you want to be able to rely on predictable traffic in your business. If you're not owning your list, you are relying on things that are unpredictable in your business. You're probably relying on foot traffic that is just happenstance and reliant on whether or not people see you or not, which is kind of risky. And you're reliant on other factors such as local events that you don't have control over, or holidays or things like that. So that's not great. You're also probably focusing a lot on social media, which again, you don't own. You don't control that. You can go and invest in paid ads, but again, if you're investing a lot of money into paid advertising, you still don't own the platform that you're posting on. That could be taken away tomorrow. And you also are investing a lot of money. It doesn't cost a lot of money to maintain your email list at all. And the ROI is guaranteed. So, when you build an email system, like I teach you inside Trailforge Academy and the programs within it, you are building a foundation that is solid, that you own, and that is very low cost to maintain. And when you have that system, you're able to actually bring back past customers. And it's like a lever that you pull. You're able to pull this lever to bring people back into the door. And you can also, and you also learn how to utilize things like paid advertising to grow your email list and to bring that flow back into it. But in general, you want to be able to have a system to continuously grow that email list and to be nurturing that email list. And that's what this workshop is helping you build. It's helping you build a system that helps you collect those email addresses so that you are able to grow and get those leads coming in. People don't want to give up their email addresses for nothing. So that's why you need to have some kind of incentive in order to get them to exchange their email address. And that incentive needs to be very, very good. It needs to be so strategically made so that it is worth it to them. You might not think an email address is anything, but to them, it is valuable. And they are not going to give it up very easily. So you need to really know your customers and really understand what they truly desire. What are their deepest desires in whatever products, services that you offer? What really makes them tick? Because when you know that, you're able to design and work backwards from, okay, I know that they really are motivated by this. So if I can take a little sample of that and turn it into a freebie on my website, that is going to incentivize them to exchange their email address. And that is something that I can turn into like a digital form. By the time you're done with this training, I will have an AI tool. You can use Maggie, which will help you. Maggie is the Academy AI coach. You can have a conversation with Maggie and give her your information of your business, and she will help coach you on different lead magnet ideas. That's one option. But by the end of this training, I will have a lead magnet AI tool that is specifically trained to help coach you on what to build for your audience that is specific to this task. So it's going to be better than having a conversation with just generic ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not actually trained on all of the lead magnet strategy that I know. So the tool that I create for you inside the Trailforge tool set will actually have all of that knowledge embedded and trained. So all you'll need to do is tell it about your business, and it's going to help coach you along those lines of helping you come up with those ideas. So you have that to look forward to. Once you understand who you're trying to attract and what their core desire is, it makes the lead magnet creation process much, much easier, because that customer journey starts to become a lot more clearer. Think about your favorite people that you've helped in the past, and work backwards of how they either discovered you or different experiences that they've had while working with you, and seeing if you can materialize any part of that experience while working with you, or the customer journey. if you have a product-based business, what's super easy and saves a lot of time is the discounts, right? The 10% off, the 15% off, the $10 here, the $5 there. That's the easy, quick thing that you can do. It gets them in your system. I'm not 100% against it. It's the easy way. And when you're limited on time, I encourage it because I'd rather you get something done than overthink this process and not do anything at all. So if you have a product-based business that you want to, that, and it's easy for you to create a coupon and you don't mind giving 10% off their first purchase, go for it. Every other product-based business does something like that and it's working for them. The only thing that I have that slightly discourages against it is that you are kind of training that new customer that they can always look for a discount. So unless you're a business that is consistently always handing out discounts, or that you, I guess that's the one thing that I would hesitate on. Like if you are a business that is really against doing discounts, then I probably would think of a different kind of incentive. But if you're a business that does a lot of incentives, like for holidays, and you bring people into your store because of a sale here and a discount there, then by all means, that probably aligns with your branding, and that's a normal thing that they can expect all the time. But if your brand and the way that you've built your business is really against that kind of discount mentality, then you might want to think of a different kind of incentive for your business. Off the top of my head, some incentives that I've seen that can be product based is like a quiz. So instead of giving a discount of 10% off your purchase, you can do a fun quiz of what kind. Let's say you have a bracelet, a jewelry company, and instead of giving a discount on jewelry, let's say it's high-end jewelry, you have a different series of bracelets. And the quiz is, what kind of bracelet are you? Let's say it's like different animal bracelets. So what animal bracelet matches your personality? And so your pop-up on your website maybe has them take a quiz to see what is their spirit animal for the bracelet that matches them. And so in exchange for like the results of the quiz, they put their email address, and then maybe they get a fun like fun quiz results or whatever. But that is something that they can get in exchange. They get a fun experience and you get their email address, and they also understand like, oh, maybe that incentivizes them to come into your store or to buy the bracelet. That's just kind of like off the whim. If you have services, you can do free consultations, you can do free, if consultations are too time consuming for you, there are other kinds of incentives that you can do. Like I'm trying to think, PDFs, guides, things that they can do on their own to evaluate and assess their situation. There's a lot of different things you can do for service-based businesses there. But you want for guides and PDFs and checklists, you want it to be so good that they can't just ask ChatGPT about it, right? I had a conversation with one of the members in the academy. I actually sent this idea out to them, and it was basically a calculator idea that it was a simple Excel sheet, and it would help them help somebody identify the investment. Sorry, I'm kind of blanking on it, but it was a while ago. It would help them calculate how much they would make if they put so much money towards an investment property. It was an investment calculator of some sort. But if they created that and then had the calculator sheet as the incentive, that's not something that ChatGPT would know how to create. it was based off of their expertise, the investors' expertise. So for somebody who is curious about investing and wanting to look into that for themselves, that would be an excellent lead magnet. In exchange for the email address, you get the free calculator. So there are many different ways to be creative, and you can always hop on a conversation with Maggie, the AI chatbot in Trailforge, but you can also play around with the AI tool that I'll create specifically for this training. And I am also available during office hours if you want to hop on with me there. I love thinking about things and really breaking down some ideas for customers in the customer journey for you. My suggestion is that you come up with 3 ideas, and then sit on it for a night and think, okay, what do I have the time and capacity to do? What should I do? I will admit quizzes are extremely powerful, but they are also the most time consuming to create. A PDF guide is very quick to create, but they also are not deemed as valuable to users. It's harder to get that email. Coupons work excellent, but then you also want to think about, as a business owner, do I want to be giving this coupon? Like, what, making sure that it aligns with your philosophies as a business owner. Okay. As you're looking through, make sure you're thinking about as you're thinking about the lead magnet, make sure you're using the filter of what is their number one pain point? What is the thing that I'm trying to solve for them? And does it bridge a gap? Many times there's lead magnets that people create where it doesn't actually flow into the next step for them. So a really good example of a lead magnet for a let's say an entrepreneur coach, we have one of those. Let's say a lead magnet for the coach is on their website. It's a quiz, and the quiz ends up with results of, okay, you have you are 68% entrepreneur. I'm just kind of making this up, but 68% entrepreneur. The next step for them would then be to book a call with the entrepreneur coach. And so that makes sense. Like, they've hopped on, they found the website, they took the quiz, and then they book a call. So I worked with a company where we were helping small businesses, and we had a program inside the company that was for basically sales. And then they wanted to do their lead magnet was a free training on basically like customer avatars. And what ended up happening was the customer avatar training did not bridge the gap into the sales conversation. So the lead magnet did not link to what was inside the offer. So the lead magnet did not link to the offer. That's what I wanted to try and do. So when I was thinking about my lead magnet for my company, my quiz, and I'll give you a little sneak peek into my quiz is extensive, and it took a long time, but let me show you how it works. Okay. So my quiz, first of all, I don't ask for the email until the end because, and some would disagree with this. I kind of wanted them to have investment first before they put their email address, because I found that sometimes when you ask for the email too soon and they don't know what they get in exchange, they don't actually do the thing. So depending on what they choose, different questions pop up. And if they are really not, if they are pretty behind, not pretty behind, I shouldn't say that, but if they are very beginner, they would get encouraged to get my regulars on repeat. But if they are more advanced, trying to like manipulate it so that it shows the next thing. They collect emails. They email every 2 weeks. They get the content clarity. The content clarity is the next level. So it's a smart quiz. If they are doing the thing, if they are emailing consistently, this resource actually helps them with their content development because they don't need the foundational guide. They probably need something to help them with their content development and staying consistent because they already have the foundation. So, and if they are absolutely killing it and they have everything all right, and they are just well beyond everything, they get invited to be a mentor in the academy. So my quiz is actually differentiated to give the right resource and lead them to the next best thing for them based on their results. And then they also get a follow-up email sequence that is appropriate based on theirs. And I'm not going to show you the back end of this until 2 sessions from now when we talk about the technology setup, but I'm going to teach you how to do all of that setup on the back end as well. But all of this is automated as far as email goes and all that good stuff. Okay, so next session, we go over how to make one of these, which is a landing page. So when people either scan a QR code or go on your website, they see and land on this. We can also talk about how to do a pop-up like that. But this is the most important thing, is that you get a landing page where you're able to collect those emails. Because if you're not collecting emails, if you have no way to collect emails, then your list is not going to grow, and that is a problem. Okay. Let's see, I have my newsletters is going through some remodeling as well, but people can sign up for it right here. But the way that I'm growing my list is through some lead magnets on my homepage here, which is through a quiz and through a guide. And you can also use your lead magnets with some very simple paid advertising and through your social channels, through organic socials, all of which we'll talk about this month. All right, for this workshop series. Hope you found it helpful. I need you to think about 3 lead magnet ideas and pick one and actually create it and have it ready by the next workshop session so that we can create that landing page for you. All right, see you next time. Bye.